it's extremely important, the role that media plays in democracy, and I think we see that probably more so um, when it comes to, I think at the moment there's a really big issue in Australia when it comes to local and regional and suburban news. And that's sort of at the level of, having I had the local paper the other day, and they've all, I live down here in Perth now, and sort of the local suburban papers now, there was maybe 5 news stories in there for a week. But like this is an area that covers 100,000 people. So, and there's maybe one journalist dedicated to that. So they're trying their hardest, but it's a difficult position to be in. And what fills those voids? And I think we see that a lot in regional parts of the country, a lot where I come from in the Kimberley, which is when the Kimberley, I think, is quite unique in that it still has quite a robust local media ecosystem. But even up there, we're seeing that there is sort of this rise of the Facebook community notice boards, which can sort of harbour some quite sort of toxic, very sort of insulated discussions about the issues that we face in a community. So I think that's what we see. We see people get sort of driven apart. People aren't engaging in the appropriate methods of dealing with stuff that we're lucky enough to still have in Australia. We've got Parliament, we've got these systems that we can engage with, but people are feeling disenfranchised about that. We aren't talking about them enough. Media has such a critical role to play in it. And that's probably where media literacy comes into it as well, because we need to know how to engage in media from a very young age, because young people are engaged in these discussions now, and they deserve to be engaged in these discussions. And we need to be not imparting on young people how they should, don't believe everything you read on the internet. The news is just a bunch of biased people all putting their own perspective. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I've heard it all before. But yeah, it's about teaching them to really, media literacy is critical thinking. And if you can critically engage with the media, you have the ability to critically engage with your community, your country, your world. And that just creates a much healthier public discourse for everyone. So it's very important we start young.